It's your boy Hennythemoor reporting live from the liquor store. How's everybody doing, man? So, hey, it's Thursday. The weekend is almost upon us. So, you know it's time to go make you a liquor store run, man. So, go ahead, pull up. Have your money ready. We got everything in stock. Of course, Hennessy is on deck. We got the gin if you like to sin. We still sipping on Eagles tears, left over from the Super Bowl. We got everything in stock. Also, we are still doing half off all items in the store if you slap the shit out of an Eagles fan. So if you want to use your discount, please go ahead, find your Eagles fan, slap the shit out of them, and come on in. I got you on what you need, man. So hey, we're gonna talk about Anthony Brown. He was spotted somewhere that you wouldn't expect to see him at. We're gonna talk about Devin White and his asking price, since he's trying to get enumerated. On the previous show, we talked about the possibility of trading for him. And, we're going to also give y'all updates on the raffle for everybody that's been participating in that. So, before we get too ahead of ourselves, though, everybody please go ahead and hit the like button, hit the share button. And if you have not already joined the channel, please hit the subscribe button. We're trying to get up to 1,000 subscribers right now to grow the channel. And we're currently sitting at 693. So I do appreciate y'all for the love and the support that y'all been showing me and the channel. And we're just trying to keep building. We're just trying to keep improving. And I really rock with y'all, man. Y'all the reason I do this. So I appreciate y'all for rocking with me as much as y'all have been, man. Also, that we are still doing the $5 jersey raffles. So if you want to get involved, it's $5 to enter. All you gotta do is send $5 to $Hennythemoor for an entry, and the winner of the raffle will be drawn on the 25th, and whoever wins will get a Dallas Cowboy jersey of their choice. So you win, we'll get in contact with each other. I'll get your size, the player jersey that you want, and your mailing address, so I can get it sent out to you. And it's gonna be smooth just like that. So you want a chance to get a Dallas Cowboy jersey of your choosing, just donate $5 to the Cash App, and you'll get yourself a raffle entry. So now that we got that out of the way, hey, Miss Green, I see you. I appreciate you coming over to the liquor store and showing love. I deeply appreciate it. So now that we got that out the way, man, let's jump right into the content. I ain't do my normal show, so this is actually my first show of the day. So I feel like I didn't pride y'all a little bit. But don't even trip. I ain't gonna prolong this too long. We're gonna jump right into the content. So Anthony Brown was spotted at the Dallas Cowboys facility. He's out there at the Star. He's working out. He's rehabilitating. He's doing this and doing that. So even though Anthony Brown is a free agent, even though they gave up his number, he is still hanging around. He's out there in the Dallas Cowboy facility rehabbing. So now it begs the question at this point: will Anthony Brown, end up signing back with the Dallas Cowboys? Is that a possibility that's out there on the table right now? And you gotta look at it two ways. Hey, what's up with your Coach Marv? What you think of running back Chase Brown out of Illinois? I think he's another Jonathan Taylor. I have not looked at him. I'm not gonna even sit here and lie to you. I have not looked at anything on the board Chase Brown. But since you're high on him, I will take a look at him and formulate an opinion about the boy. So let's just take a look. Yeah, so like the question now is Anthony Brown going to sign back with the team? And it's really a twofold question, really a threefold question. Well, when you talk about player acquisition, it's always about what you're going to pay him. Do you need the position, right? And health. So Anthony Brown ruptured his Achilles. That's why he was, that's why we ended up having to play 7 different guys at cornerback 2. So he ruptured his Achilles. He missed a majority of the season, and odds are he's going to miss, a good portion of the season to start, because Achilles injuries are not, the easiest thing to shake back from. So he has the injury, and at this point we have already replaced him. Like we gave his number to Brandon Cooks. He was rocking number 3, and Brandon Cooks is number 3 now. But I will say this. What's up, Henny? slapped an Eagles fan before I checked into the liquor store. I can use that discount for some friends who drink. Bet that up, Neil. I appreciate you for coming over and showing love to the channel. Remember, you have my permission. Slap as many Eagles fans as you want. Every time you slap the shit out their ass, you're going to get an additional discount. Hey, the original people, what's good, my boy? I appreciate you for coming over and showing love to the channel, my guy. Thank you for tapping in. So, yeah, man. So, Anthony Brown, I don't necessarily think we need him. You know what I mean? You went out, got Stephon Gilmore. I'm real bullish on Israel McCormick, getting an opportunity to play boundary corner, with his size and his athletic ability. Then, on top of that, there are other cornerbacks in this year's draft that you could possibly bring in and give you a better impact than what Anthony Brown gave you. It's not like, and this is the thing, like I've always been the guy to defend Anthony Brown. There was a particular year where he was our best man coverage guy, but last year was not Anthony Brown's best showing. Like Anthony Brown was getting toe up. I can't really say the same thing about 2021. I think he was actually a lot more solid than people gave him credit for in 2021. But 2022, like he was getting his ass whooped. I can't even sit here in front to y'all, man. He was the most targeted cornerback in the National Football League at the time of his injury. Nobody was trying to throw at Trayvon Diggs. He was just coming off of a season where he had 11 interceptions. And that's the same trend that followed, after Anthony Brown got hurt. Right after Anthony Brown got hurt, they still weren't targeting Trayvon Diggs. They were targeting Kelvin Joseph. They were targeting DeRon Bland when they kicked him out there to play boundary corner. They were targeting Nahshon Wright and the Mullins boy and everybody else we brought in. We were playing musical chairs over there. So the volume of targets was not necessarily an Anthony Brown issue. It's just teams did not want to target Trayvon Diggs. But he did not play his best football this previous year. I'm a guy that usually vouches for Anthony Brown. I can't even sit here and lie like he was his best football last year. And Coach Moore said something very important. He said, no, not right now, maybe mid or late season. If we have injuries, nobody's signing him. Probably the best thing, right? He would be a guy in a similar situation to what T.Y. Hilton was doing, right? And unlike T.Y. Hilton, though, he has a legit injury. So, I don't think teams are gonna line up to sign Anthony Brown right now. And injuries happen. Like we saw with Anthony Brown, the injuries happen. So, hey, Sugar Daddy Warren, what's up with you, my boy? I appreciate you for coming in and showing love to the liquor store, my boy. Deeply appreciate that. But yeah, so listen, I think there's ways to get younger at cornerback. He said AB was a 5th or 6th round pick. Big props to him for surviving, let alone starting as long as he did. That's a dude who, for real, got it out the mud. Much love, AB. With your no looking back. Yeah, he sure don't look back for the damn ball. But, like he be in phase. Hey, Jose Banks, what's up with you, my boy? I appreciate you for coming over and showing love to the liquor store, my guy. I thank you for tapping in. Oh, also, real quick, everybody that's just now coming in, we are still doing the $5 raffle for the Dallas Cowboy jersey. If you want a chance to win a Dallas Cowboy jersey, just send $5 to the Cash App that's floating at the bottom of your screen. It's $Hennythemoor. Each entry is only $5, and you can send as many entries as you want. The only thing I ask is that you only send entries while I'm live, so we can be very transparent about who I'm sending and everything like that. I don't want y'all to think I'm out here finessing. And to our quick update, Mr. Regina Green, you had the best odds of winning a jersey. You have 20 entries. Dwayne Brown, you have the second best odds of winning a jersey. You have 10. And then DC4 Life and Michael Autry, y'all are tied for the second best odds. Y'all have 8 entries. So those are the people with the best odds to win it. But again, it's random. So, one entry gets you a chance to win. So if you want an opportunity to win a Dallas Cowboy jersey, let's send $5 to the Cash App. and you'll get yourself an entry, and I will draw the winner on the 25th. But back to the the actual content. I just got to give updates throughout the course of the show. Nice ain't the right word. Gilead's comeback 2 is Nirvana. Yeah. And that's the beautiful thing about it. Like, you already have, a lot of depth at cornerback 2 because you signed Stephon Gilmore. Right? Because Stephon Gilmore is going to be the lead dog. He's going to be the starter at cornerback 2. And then behind him, you have Nahshon Wright, who's going to be in the third year of his development. You have Izzy, who's shown some flashes. And listen, he was a boundary corner in college, right? I know they moved him to safety in the NFL, but he was a boundary corner in college. He excelled at it, and he's a long, athletic cornerback. I think Israel is down there 6'5", so he's a guy with a lot of promise. He just needs some more reps. But like, we are deep at cornerback 2 right now because of this one roster move with Gilmore. And you got to also remember, we're not even factoring in anybody we could bring in through the draft. The Dallas Cowboys might draft a cornerback like Emmanuel Forbes, who had 14 career interceptions and 6 career pick sixes with the NCAA all-time lead, right? Or they could draft a guy like Deonte Banks, who might fall to them. Or they could draft, I see a lot of people like Corey Trice, how you say the boy name. So there's a lot of prospects, that could actually end up in Dallas to give you even more depth over a guy like Anthony Brown, who's a little bit older now. He's finna be 30. He's coming off an Achilles injury. And then the last time you seen him on the field, he wasn't playing that great. So, hey, what's up with your DC for life? I appreciate you for coming over, showing love to the liquor store, my boy. Hey, make sure you slap a shit at the Eagles fan, man. You need to. Henny, I wouldn't advise it, but I hope the league forget to think about Bland. I've never seen a cornerback have the rookie year he did, and nobody wants to talk about him. We can legit have 15 picks from the top 3. It's very possible. Because, those are 3 very opportunistic cornerbacks that we have out there playing. DaRon Bland, and listen, DaRon Bland wasn't getting any fluky interceptions. He was in phase, and a lot of his interceptions came from him taking the ball right out of wide receivers' hands. So there was nothing fluky or accidental about the way he was getting it. Like, he was getting it the hard way. So I'm very high on DaRon Bland after what I've seen. So I like the prospect of it. And listen, he should definitely be the starting nickelback. I know that they still have Jordan Lewis on the team, but I definitely think DaRon Bland deserves it right now. No knock on Jay Lou, because he's been a very phenomenal player for us for several seasons. But you got to let the young guy rock. The young guy had 5 interceptions from that slot corner position. So yeah, I definitely want DaRon Bland to retain the starting slot role. Maybe let Jay Lou, rotate in as the 4th cornerback. Maybe relieve him at times if you want to. So like, we really got nice depth. Because I forgot all about Jay Lou. Because y'all got to remember, I was trying to, God forgive me, because I never want anybody to have to have a job and nothing. But I was politicking for the Dallas Cowboys to cut Jay Lou to save that $4.7 million. I ain't gonna even sit here and hold you. I was politicking, campaigning for them to cut that man, and just give DaRon Bland the job flat out. But he's a guy who has shown he can start in the NFL. The Dallas Cowboys don't seem like they want to move on from him, so he gives you even more depth. So really, when you put that into perspective, like, you're really set, at cornerback, because you got Jordan Lewis coming back. He's still on the team. He's still in the fold. He should be healthy for this season. And then you'll probably end up drafting you a cornerback at some point in this year's draft. So that's 2 extra bodies. So I think I'm with Coach on this one, man. Like, if something catastrophic happens and we gotta, we're in a pinch, we need to sign a cornerback, Anthony Brown ain't gonna get signed anytime soon, I don't believe. So I feel Coach on that one. I think we'll probably have to just wait, for he'll be a break glass in case of emergency type of player right now for OAB. But yeah, he was in Dallas training at the facility, so that's why this came up. So I hope that Anthony Brown has a speedy recovery. Nothing but love for the man and everything that he has contributed to the team. But I'm happy with Stephon Gilmore. I'm happy with Stephon Gilmore and these other guys that we got. We got the depth and the experience right now, so I think we're good. All right. Nirvana is a good way to describe the CB2 situation. I agree. I definitely agree with that. All right, so we just talked about that. Now we're gonna chop it up real quick about Devin White. Devin White was a name that floated around. He requested a trade from the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. He is a former All-Pro, a former Pro Bowler, a former All-Rookie team, and of course, he was a starting linebacker on a Super Bowl winning defense in 2020. So he has a very, very good pedigree. And, because he was a former 5th overall pick, I knew that he would want to be properly enumerated. He has been a very good player since coming into the league. So, I knew he would want good money. So, that's one of the reasons I said that he would probably price his way out of Dallas. I know the moment it was announced that he wanted to get traded, I know a bunch of people were jumping at the prospect of trying to trade for him and sign him. But it is right now being reported that Devin White is requesting between $18 and $20 million annually for the next team that he signs with. Hey, too broke to pay attention. What's good with you, my boy? I appreciate you for coming over to the liquor store and showing love, my guy. And remember, if you slap the shit out of an Eagles fan, you will get half off all items in the store. So please go ahead and use your discount while supplies last. So yeah, man, we rocking. So yeah, but when it comes to him, it was being reported that he is requesting anywhere between $18 and $20 million right now. And honestly, man, when you think about his pedigree, like he's not doing anything wrong. You know what I'm saying? He's supposed to get paid like that. He's supposed to get paid like that. He put in the work. Like I say he's a top 5 pick. He made an All-Pro team, made a Pro Bowl selection, was on an All-Rookie team, and he's had over 120 tackles every damn season. Well, these last 3 seasons, he had over 120 tackles. So, like the money he's asking for is not, crazy. It's the proper money for a guy of his caliber. The issue is the Dallas Cowboys cannot hope to pay him that kind of money, because forget the fact that you have to try and get an extension done with Dak Prescott, because he's going to make $59.4 million next year. So you're hoping to get an extension done to drop that cap hit. But the Dallas Cowboys are also in a position where they need to sign Trayvon Diggs. Trayvon Diggs is going to be playing in the final year of his contract. He might even be on the verge of holding out right now, right? Because, there's nothing to hold out from just yet. But right now, Trayvon Diggs is slated to play on a 1-year deal worth only $2 million. So, it's a very good possibility that he will try not to suit up for the Dallas Cowboys, right? Then you look at somebody like CeeDee Lamb. Like, you only have a 5th-year option left on CeeDee Lamb's contract. This is the final year of his rookie deal. You have this year, then you can pick up his rookie option, his 5th-year option. So when you think about the players on your team that are finna ask for money, you can't necessarily go out there and make a move like that requires you to give up some kind of draft capital and then turn around and enumerate this player as one of the highest paid players at their position. Because remember, the Dallas Cowboys can't. They're going to be I'm stuttering and stammering all the other shit. Forgive me. The Dallas Cowboys are going to be in position where they already have a top linebacker that they have to pay coming up. They have Michael Parsons' contract coming up pretty soon. So, you can't, give Devin White $18 to $20 million and then try to turn around and negotiate with Michael Parsons and try to pay him less than that. So, they're in a lose-lose situation right now with that. They said, where are we at on getting TP's cap number down and Jordan Lewis? Haven't heard any news on those two for a few weeks. There has been absolutely no news with Jordan Lewis. As it stands, the Dallas Cowboys can still save $4.7 million by cutting him. So, I doubt they would go that path and release him due to the emergence of Deron Bland. But I guess the Dallas Cowboys are comfortable with paying him that $4.7 million, and I guess the Dallas Cowboys want his veteran leadership and his depth that he provides. So it doesn't look like they're trying to do anything with Jordan Lewis right now. And as for Tony Pollard, he has already signed his franchise tag. So I think the Dallas Cowboys are going to let him play on it. It's not the move that I would make. Of course, I think the Dallas Cowboys should have got a long-term deal done with him and rescinded that tag, because currently you're really overpaying him if you compare him to these other running backs. Because Josh Jacobs, is going to make $10 million if he signed his tag, and he was the league leading rusher. Saquon Barkley, had a better rushing season than him. He got tagged as well. Do you look at somebody like Miles Sanders, who had a better season than he did, only making about what is like $6 million a year? So, and when you put it into perspective, Tony Pollard is going to get overpaid this season. But I at this point, I think the Dallas Cowboys are comfortable with it. I would still be trying to work out a long-term deal with his ass, but the things that we want the Dallas Cowboys to do and the things that they actually turn around and do are two different things. I think it makes much more sense. You can lower the cap hit by rescinding the tag and offering him a long-term deal. So that's something I would do, but it is what it is. But no, just to answer your question, there has been no new news on either front. But that's where it stands. You can still save the 4.7 by cutting Jordan Lewis, and you can still save a little bit of money by rescinding the tag and getting a long-term deal done with Tony Pollard. But neither one has came to fruition just yet. Let's see. Said, yeah, Diggs, Gilmore, Bland, Lewis, McQuamu. Yeah, man, like we are actually deep in that position now. And it's very solid, it's very solid depth at this point. It's very solid depth at this point. It's not a bunch of journeyman cornerbacks or this person, that person that been and fell off. It's some young and upcoming. I can't talk today, man. I don't know what the hell going on with me, man. But it's some young and up and coming corners on our team that have been producing and that deserve a fair shot. So yeah, I like the depth that we have at the cornerback position. I said, yeah, Sugar Daddy 1 said, damn, Dad, you're right. Double R, what's good with you, my boy? I appreciate you for coming over to the liquor store and showing love to me. We definitely appreciate you for all the support that you give me in the channel, man. So salute to you. So I think everybody is out on the prospect of paying Devin White that kind of money, right? I like him as a player. I definitely think that he is actually better than Leighton Vander is. There's not even a question or up for debate. He's a better player than Leighton Vander as he is right now as of today. But because of the way that a lot of these contracts, are set up, it's not going to happen. Okay, so Coach Morris said that Jay Lou's not healthy, so they're not going to cut him. Okay. So since he's not healthy, I guess that actually makes sense. Now, see, I did not realize that he had not recovered yet, but Ken Folk said that he's not healthy, so that makes sense. So I guess there's still opportunity. Once he's medically cleared, we'll see what happens. Once he's medically cleared, we'll see what happens. So we'll see if they really want him there or are they just trying to save some money. All right. Also, there was a funny thing. This is not initially part of the show, but I just wanted to point this out to y'all. So they released they released these draft profiles for these top quarterbacks, right, in this year's draft, and they gave them all comps, breakdowns, and things like that. Do y'all remember when there were the reports that the Dallas Cowboys were enamored with C.J. Stroud, and all these folks were talking about they wanted to get C.J. Stroud over Dak Prescott? this, that, and the third. Well, wouldn't you know that in this drafting report that they recently released and the comps that they gave, this was actually done by Jay Fowler at ESPN. They gave CJ Stroud's draft comparison to Dak Prescott. So it's actually funny as hell in hindsight. A lot of people were beating the table and saying that we should go out and trade up and get CJ Stroud. And the professionals, who actually break these players down and draw these comparisons and comps, actually think that he is, this draft class of Dak Prescott. That is the actual player that they compare him to. According to the boy Jay Fowler from ESPN, what NFL executives are saying about him. They think he's Dak Prescott, and that's who they draw comparison to for him. I just thought that was funny as hell. After all that shit they talked about CJ Stroud ceiling and him being this generational quarterback and this, that, and the third, NFL executives think that his best comp in the NFL is our quarterback. So we got CJ Stroud at home, right? You know how your mama say, you ask your mama for McDonald's, she say you got McDonald's at home. Well, hell, they asked for CJ Stroud. We got CJ Stroud at home, right? We already got Dak Prescott. So why would we need to trade up and get the quarterback who was supposed to be Dak Prescott? You already got Dak Prescott. So I just thought that was very interesting. All right. So we're gonna. He said, Henny, what's your thoughts on wide receiver Michael Wilson? Hey, Michael Lace, what's good with you, man? Appreciate you coming over, showing love. He said, what's your thoughts on Michael Wilson from Stanford? Hadn't really heard his name until today. Watched a little film on him today. Could be a day 3 pick. Man, I got scared for a second. I thought I lost y'all, man. Okay, we still rocking. Okay. Yeah, like my service had damn near went out. I don't know what that was. But yeah, I ain't heard of the boy either. And and listen, I have no issues drafting a wide receiver in the later rounds because I think wide receiver 4 is up for grabs anyway, as it should be. Because you got guys on the team that's been in the mix for a while, like Simi Fehoko. You got Jalen Tolbert, who I'm hoping can take a next step in his development. On the roster still. He was just a top 100 pick last year. And then whoever else you draft in this year's draft. So, I don't think it's an issue in drafting a wide receiver, no matter who it may be. So I'm not familiar with the Michael Wilson more per se, but my opinion about, drafting a wide receiver, why not? Your thumbnail, that part, they keeping AB, I ain't mad. Could use the depth. Well, this is the thing. They have not announced that they're actually keeping the boy, but he is out there, practicing and rehabbing at the Star. So he's in the Dallas Cowboys facility. He's out there working out. He out there training to get back into football shape, rehabilitating from his torn Achilles. So he's around the team right now, basically. So it's not necessarily an indication that he's going to be back. But there's not a lot of guys who are no longer on the team, and the team has no, thoughts about bringing them back. Yeah, so it aligns. What I'm saying? In theory, what they would have looking like. He's out there with the team doing this and that. So it's definitely easy to jump to the conclusion that he could be back. And at this point, it's not gonna take a lot of money to sign Anthony Brown. Like, you really need him, you want him. Like, he probably play for a veteran minimum right now. Just based on how he played last year, based with his injury, based with his age, that he does not have a high, he does not have a high market out here in free agency, especially with the draft that's around the corner. Like, a lot of these guys are going to be shooting for these young guys anyway. So, for Anthony Brown, it's just going to be about getting in where he can fit in at this point. So yeah. So I don't mind it though. Like I said, if they need them down the line, break glass in case of emergency, do it. But I think with the depth that we have and the draft, we'll be able to get some guys who are just about as good, or if not better, than Anthony Brown. May not have the experience, but I definitely can see us being fine without him. Okay. Also, I told y'all I would give y'all a full update on the raffle, so I'm gonna run through this real quick, and then we'll talk. Then we'll do questions. We'll do Q&A after this. They said, I know who want to take AB job, KJ and Wright. Yeah, but that's the thing though. Like, it's not AB job no more though. That's Stephon Gilmore job now, and they ain't beating him out. I don't foresee it. So maybe they can beat. And listen, you can't even. And listen, like there's no guarantee that AB could come in and get the quarterback. Get the cornerback 4 job. Over Jordan Lewis at this point. Over Jordan Lewis and Izzy, like it's tough. Like I really think we got a very damn good defensive back room. It's a vet minimum for AB. Sign me up to have him, Gilly, Bland, and Diggs before the draft. I roll with it. Yeah, the extra cap space. Well, I'll tell you what about this, man. I really am interested in training camp at this point. Like, training camp is shaping up to be very, very interesting, in regards of who's going to actually be playing on this team, because there's a good chance like KJ might not survive. If he's only going to be a special team player, like, man, they might have to cut that boy if he can't develop in year 3. But yeah, I'm gonna give y'all the update on the raffle real quick, and then we'll do some more Q&A. So right now, Miss Regina Green, you have the best odds of winning the jersey. You have 20 entries, so congratulations to you. My boy Dwayne Brown has 10 entries. He has the second best odds. DC for Life has 8 entries. Michael Autry has 8 entries. Michael McQuay has 7 entries. Then let's see. Antonio Cole has 6 entries. It's Too Easy has 6 entries. Let's see. Now who has 5? Marquetta has 5 entries. Donald Holmes has 5 entries. Let's see. Keystone has 4 entries. Michael Lockhart has 3 entries. Corey Williams has 3 entries. Starter Kick the Lunatic has 3 entries. Tupac with a Mohawk has 2. Daisy Clark has 2. Action Pal has 2. The Original has 2. Klebo has 2. Jeffrey has 2. King G has 2. And then Lewis Winslow has 1. Tawan has 1. JC Cowboy Network has 1. Desmond Ironman has 1. And Texas T, you have 1. Oh, Desmond, you also have 1. Desmond Ironman has 1. So, Khalil Parson also has 1. Y'all forgive me, my eyes are bad. Oh, if you're looking at this last screen. So that is the update on the draft. That's everybody in their entries. So as you do know, Regina Green has the best odds. Dwayne Brown is second, and then DC for Life and Michael Autry have the third best odds. So if y'all want to join in on a chance to win a Dallas Cowboy jersey of your choice, donate $5 to the Cash App, and we'll announce the winner on the 25th if you want to participate. I said, KJ, best to cut ties with the dude and hope he can rehab his football career somewhere else. And this is the thing, like, I don't think KJ has beaten out anybody to deserve, playing time. When he was on the field, he did not look better than Deshaun Wright. He did not look better than Israel Mukuamu. So like I think they should be ahead of KJ. I know KJ was the second round pick, and they were later round picks. But I definitely think with the level of play that they shown, they have outperformed KJ up to this point in their career, and they should definitely get more nods than him. So unless he just lines up and beats them in practice, and he is just taking this phenomenal jump, in his level of play as a professional, then that's a different story. But from what I've seen, and listen, what we all seen it. From what we all have seen with our own two eyes, there is no scenario where KJ, well, Kevin Joseph should be getting snaps over to either one of those guys. Like they have both played better than him. So yeah, there should be no if and buts about it. So if anybody got to get cut, it should be KJ. Especially if we go out and get another defensive back in the draft, and like his days are numbered. His days are numbered. So yeah, he said, "Hey, what's up, Ken folk?" All right, so we doing Q&A. Said, yeah, KJ playing for a roster spot. Period. Yeah, he's supposed to be playing for a roster spot. He ain't played well enough to be secured. And then it will cost you nothing to get rid of him. He a second round pick on a rookie deal. You know what I'm saying? It will cost you nothing to get rid of him. And he already done played out 2 years, so the guaranteed money on the final 2 years of this deal ain't gonna be much at all. You want to move on from Kelvin Joseph, it's easy to do so. So yeah, we're gonna do some Q&A real quick, man. So y'all drop y'all questions, concerns, whatever y'all want to drop in the chat box. We're gonna chop it up, do it like that. I'll answer all y'all questions. I'm gonna try to stay on here with y'all, a little bit longer. I ain't do a show earlier, so I want to chop it up with y'all a little bit longer, show some love, give back, answer your questions. It could be about the upcoming season. It could be about draft. It could be about positional battles. Whoop-de-woo. Yeah, the forced fumble when I saved him, that was a play made on special teams. So while it did help the team, you didn't draft him, in the second round, to be a special teams ace. You drafted him to be the guy to run opposite side of Trayvon Diggs for the next 5 to 6 years, and he has not proven that he can do that. He has not lived up. And listen, he got drafted to take over for Anthony Brown. And Anthony Brown, he still played up to this year. Would have still been playing if he hadn't got hurt. And a lot of us were very down on Anthony Brown. You know what I'm saying? A lot of y'all thought Anthony Brown was horrible. And Kelvin Joseph couldn't even beat him out. So, that says a lot about the level of play that Kelvin Joseph is at. Yeah, that says a lot about the level of play that Kelvin Joseph is at, man. So AB may beat him out again. If given an opportunity, I don't see why he wouldn't. If given an opportunity, I do not see why he wouldn't beat him out. Because listen, I ain't seen nothing from the boy to say that he can go out there and beat any of these defensive backs out. Because it's not even a competition between him and Stephon Gilmore, right? So we're not even gonna bring that discussion up. But Nahshon Wright, he actually played pretty decent. Didn't give up a touchdown. He gave us some yardage, but he had an interception and did not give up a touchdown. Then Izzy, you only seen him in limited snaps, but he played good. He got an interception, locked down Godwin in the playoff game. Nah, AB has been serviceable. He just wasn't serviceable last year. He was playing down when he was out there. Then he got hurt. But I can really make the argument that Anthony Brown was one of your better coverage, one of your better coverage corners in 2021. Hey, shout out to DC for Life for the $5 entry. That gets you another entry into the raffle. So DC for Life, you now have 9 entries. So you're all alone right there for number 3 with the best odds. You now have the third best odds to win the jersey. Again, Regina Green has the best odds with 20. Dwayne Brown has the second best odds with 10. And DC for Life, you have 9 entries. So you have the third best odds overall to win this jersey. So salute to you. Appreciate you for your support. And we're gonna keep building and growing this channel. I appreciate y'all for everything, man. But yeah, so tell me, like, am I tripping though? Like, y'all can't say I'm tripping. Name one defensive back on this team that Kelvin Joseph can beat out right now. From what you've seen, name it. Is there anybody? It don't appear to be for me. See, I don't see. Ain't nobody putting nothing like there. There ain't nobody y'all can name. All right, so let's do Q&A though, man. So let's chop it up. Who's some draft prospects y'all want to? Y'all think we should target? What a position you wanted at pick number 26. Are there anybody on this team that you think CJ? Oh, CJ Goodwin. That's probably about it. He said KJ isn't bottom of the room. I think. Well, this is the thing. Like, who would you have ahead of him? Just like from performance wise, I mean, like, he may not be in the bottom of the room based on what the coaches think, but from what me, you, and everybody else have seen him put on film, like, who has he played better than? He ain't played. I don't think he played better than anybody that's still on the team. And DP said, like, CJ Godwin, I don't even count him because he only plays special teams. Like, he brought in every year just to be a special team captain. So I don't even count CJ Godwin in this. So, like, for the cornerbacks to actually get on the field, so there's your camp battle. If they draft a corner, he's gone. Man, it's a wrap for him. It really is gonna be a wrap for him. It said DP Johnson said he don't move to free safety, he's gonna be out of here. I think he should play safety. You know what, man? I need to see something, because somebody told me that this boy was like an All-American safety in high school. I gotta look that up. I'm trying to see if I can find that, but yeah, somebody told me that he was like an All-American safety in college. I mean, in high school. Yep, that's true. He's a former high school safety. He was a 3-time All-State. Well, this is the thing. Like, he has a better shot of playing at safety than he does at corner because of the kind of hybrid defense that Dan Quinn runs. So even if you don't think like he's that amazing, there's opportunities for him to get on the field, because there's a lot of times there's going to be 3 safeties on the field. Malik Hooker is going to be the main guy playing the true free safety position. J-Ron Kurtz and Donovan Wilson are going to be in the box a lot together, because we like running big nickel over playing a traditional 4-3 a lot of times. We like putting in our safeties over our linebackers. So it's a possibility, that he can actually get on the field quicker as a safety. He was just fastest cover guy at school, and they switched him. Happens to a lot of safeties because his can always switch back later. Oh yeah, like hey, if you're in the NFL, you have some kind of talent. You know what I'm talking about? Like you really out here got natural athletic ability, or you were productive in high school or college and they seen you tape. So like if you're in the NFL, you can play. It's just about putting it together, like you said. Dwayne Brown, what's up with you, man? I appreciate you for coming over and showing love to the liquor store. Please go ahead and slap the shit out that Eagles fan so you can get half off your bottle of liquor. And we up here chilling, man. We up here. We talked about Anthony Brown working out. I know you're just now getting in here, so we talked about Anthony Brown working out at the Star. We talked about, Devin White's asking price. He asking for between $18 and $20 million. And then I also gave an update on the raffle before you came in. So Dwayne Brown, Regina Green is leading the way. She has 20 entries. She has the best odds of winning the jersey. And Dwayne Brown, you have the second best odds of winning the jersey. You have 10 entries. So salute to you. I appreciate you for chopping it up with us, supporting the channel, and we rocking. I said I did. That's why I'm late. All good, my boy. If you're late from slapping shit out of Eagles fan, then you're not really late, man. You're right on time. That should be a prerequisite for coming into the liquor store, man. You got to go ahead and knock your Eagles fan head off before you come in this mug, man. So salute to you, and we got a deep safety room, but that's the thing though. There's gonna be a lot of competition, like all the way around. We were talking about the defensive back room being deep. Our safety room is just as deep. So I think the Dallas Cowboys, at least on paper right now, we have the best secondary in the National Football League. If you look at our combined cornerback room and our combined safety room, I think we have one of the better secondaries in the National Football League. Because you got Trayvon Diggs, who made an All-Pro team. You got Stephon Gilmore, a former Defensive Player of the Year. Deron Bland had 5 interceptions as a rookie. Jordan Lewis, played pretty damn good when he was out when he was out there before his injury. J-Ron Curse, and listen, J-Ron Curse and Donovan Wilson, could have probably made All-Pro selections the last 2 years. Like J-Ron Curse could have probably made an All-Pro team in 2021 if he had a bigger name. And Donovan Wilson damn sure should have made an All-Pro team last year. And then you look at Malik Hooker, who's a former first-round pick. Like it's damn sure is like a super deep safety room. And then you can count Izzy in the safety room, and you can count Izzy in the cornerback room because they have him splitting time at those positions. So yeah, it's deep, man. It is deep. But just based off of Kelvin Joseph's skill set, right? If he if he has a chance to succeed, it's going to be at safety over corner. Because even Cuz said, watching the boy, he didn't appear to have cornerback hips. And what Kinfolk meant by that is that he can't. It's not really easy for Kelvin Joseph to turn and run with these wide receivers. He probably better suited playing safety so he can watch the play develop. So if vets are at a disadvantage, Ty go to the draftee with equal or high upside. Yeah, that is true. Unless you just a cold vet. You know what I mean? Like J-Ron Curtis is not gonna get knocked off by anybody. Donovan Wilson, you just paid him, so that's over with. Maybe Malik Hooker if he doesn't live up to expectations, but I don't know. I'm not with my kinfolk landlord. Landlord is really down on Malik Hooker. I think he was very solid, with the way that he played. I know he does not have the top end speed that he used to have because of numerous injuries, but he's still a damn good free safety to me. You know what I mean? I still think he be out there balling. He be out there balling, really, man. I don't see it, but he is the guy that watch film more than I do. I will not lie; he watched more film than I do. I am more of a numbers guy, but I'm not too down on Malik Hooker. I still like him. Let's see. Yeah, Wilson's untouchable. As a Marine, I don't condone violence, but there are exceptions. War and Eagles fans. Yeah, man. Eagles fans cause war. So remember that. So you might be saving a life by slapping the shit out of Eagles fan. Yeah, Hooker makes plays, man. Like he had like 3 interceptions. He had like a fumble recovery for a touchdown. Like he balled this year. I like Malik Hooker. Now, he's not the same guy that got, that had that first round. He's not the same guy that got drafted, in 2018. You be in the league long enough and shit like that. You lose a step, you have injuries, you lose a step. But like he's still good. And I think, man, like we got way too spoiled too soon on our safeties. Cause man, you remember when we had that boy, what was his name? Jeff Heath. You remember when Jeff Heath was out there playing safety for you? And the hodgepodge of different guys. So like, yeah, man, like I'm not gonna poo-poo on Malik Hooker, after years and years and years of the Dallas Cowboys neglecting the safety position. After years and years of them neglecting the safety position, then I'm not gonna poo-poo on what Malik Hooker has given to us. I said, yeah, that Achilles slowed him down, but he still makes plays. I definitely, think that he should rock. He should stay around for us a little bit longer. Yeah, questions. Go ahead, drop y'all questions and thoughts, in the chat box, man. Who are some guys y'all want us to look at, man? Some more prospects, positions. Talk to me. Like I said, it's April, man. We ain't got to stay on task too much, man. Whatever y'all trying to chop it up about, we can do so. And then if not, then I'll just go live later on or something. I said, y'all ain't got no questions, then we can shut down the doors of the liquor store for a little while, and then we can reconvene at a later time. Like I said, man, like this is the thing. Like I'm ready to go to the draft, but I'm really been burnt out, man, waiting for us to actually draft people and get them on the team. So y'all don't want a running back or a quarterback or a tight end. And you say it takes a few years to develop life for linemen. So who do you want? Like I think if we're talking about this thing, I never said I didn't want a running back. You know what I mean, man? Like I'll definitely take a running back. Because there's only 2 first-round running backs in this year's draft anyway. Like Bijan Robinson and Jahmyr Gibbs. Like I would definitely take one of them. Quarterback is a waste of a draft pick because they're not going to play over Dak Prescott, especially if he balls. I need somebody that can come in. It's just like drafting a tight end in the first round has never worked out either. Like none of the guys that from the last 10 seasons lived up to their draft spot. You know what I mean, at the tight end position. So that's why we don't want them. But offensive line, like you seen even with Tyler Smith, like even though he was not at the level, that he will be. Yeah, he was still good enough to come in and produce for you. Henny, if you look at individual rooms on defense and the contracts within, we are set up to challenge for damn near every. I agree with that. It said, Henny, if you had a choice of wide receiver, linebacker, O-line, or DL or 26, what position are you picking? Ooh, that's a tough one. That's a tough one. It will be between wide receiver and offensive line. It will be between wide receiver and offensive line. Because just going, if I'm just drafting for people to come in right now, this moment, and make my team better, I think there's some wide receivers in here that can beat out Michael Gallup, right? Beat out Michael Gallup immediately. And then, I think there are offensive linemen that can make my offensive line better immediately. So that's what I'm looking at. If it ain't Bijan, I'm not even looking at running backs in the first round. Jaron Hall could be a Dak light prototype. Could get him in later rounds or as a young undrafted free agent. Jaron Hall was actually one of the guys that we ended up looking at when we broke down possible upgrades for quarterback 2. did a video that's up here on the channel. You want to check that out? It was alive, but I looked at him. I looked at Dorian Thompson-Robinson. I also looked at Max Duggan, and I looked at Malik Cunningham. So we went and looked at possible upgrades at cornerback too. You know, they have a similar playing style to Dak Prescott. You know, that's why you call them Dak Light, because they do have similar playing styles, being athletic quarterbacks that can get outside of the pocket. So if any of y'all haven't seen it, want to check it out, it's on the channel. He says Curse and Hooker are 1-year deals. So is D.A., J. Lou, LVE got 2, Hank on a 1. We might flip O-line, have defense in the next 2 years. What you think? Yeah. And, you know, you definitely could see it. You could see it happening. And the thing with DA though, right? Hey, shout out to you. Appreciate you tapping into the liquor store. So this is the thing though. He said, if we don't get running back in the first round, then let's get a best available offensive lineman. I definitely think there's some very good offensive linemen, you know, out there. You know, I think like I know people were talking about Avila, but I think Avila can slip into the second round. I definitely think Avila can slip into the second round. But you know, they got guys like Darnell Wright. They got guys like I really want them. Listen, we could trade up for anybody, just like any offensive lineman. Like I would trade up and get Perry Johnson Jr. so quick because he reminds me so much of Tyron Smith, man. I'm not saying that he's going to be Tyron Smith, but just like with his athletic ability, his size, his ability to move, his nimbleness, like I'm really high on Perry Johnson Jr. I don't think he'll be there, but you know, like if there was any offensive lineman I would take, is him. So I would take him. I would take and listen, I would still take Gibbs too. Like I think he does the same thing as Tony Pollard, but you know, he's a guy who has home run speed. He ran a 4.3. He's a great route runner. You know, he's not scared to run in between the tackles. I like Jahmyr Gibbs. So, you know, I still would not be opposed to taking him in the first round. If I felt like he wouldn't be there for me at 58, I would take Jahmyr Gibbs. I used to want to trade DA. I'm scared for it to happen. He may not be a Pro Bowler, but his special teams work makes up for any defensive shortcoming he has. Well, this is the thing. I definitely think the Dallas Cowboys will get another edge rusher. They already have Sam Williams for the next 3 years, and they drafted him in the second round. So, you know, I think the heir apparent, you know, to the opposite side is going to be him. But, you know, they don't have that much longer on the DeMarcus Lawrence contract either. So I definitely can see them bringing in another edge rusher. Especially if they can't re-up DA. So, you know, it's just really going to depend on Dorrance Armstrong's market. If they can keep him for a relatively low cost, I can see the Dallas Cowboys doing so. But, you know, it's all about the money. So yeah, I could see that happening. And we also know the Dallas Cowboys are very high on some of their younger guys too. You know, I know that you had mentioned Leighton Vander Esch only having 2 years, but I think they're very high on guys like Damone Clark. I think they're high on Devin Harper. So for linebacker, I think this is going to be a wait and see approach for them. I still think I still think the Dallas Cowboys will draft a linebacker this draft, but they shown a lot of interest in in Overshown from Texas. So, you know, I can definitely see him getting drafted by the Dallas Cowboys in the third round, something like that. But, you know, I don't think the Dallas Cowboys are going to plunge for some of these positions. So does our schedule look possible for a run or not? Yes, we did not win our division, so we technically don't have a first place schedule. We play a lot of teams that we already beaten too, though. But we play Detroit, even though they're probably gonna be a little bit better. We beat the hell out of them last year. right? You look at our division. Giants have not got overtly that much better. Washington has not made any significant moves. The Eagles have gotten, weaker on the defensive side of the ball, right? And that's line share of our schedules. 6 of our 17 games are in our own division. So, worst case scenario, I see us going like 5-1 against our division. I can easily see us sweeping them because I think we have the better team this year around in the division with the moves that we made, with the moves that they did not make. And of course, this is pre-draft. Like things could change on the pendulum. Draft could change a lot of things. But right now, as it's constructed, we don't play a lot of hard teams. Like even if we play the AFC East, right? The Jets might have Aaron Rodgers, but we damn near beat Aaron Rodgers last year. We beat ourselves that game. You look at the Patriots; they're not faring too well. You look at who else is in that division. The Bills were shaky down the stretch. I think we can beat them. Miami, they might be a tough out if they actually have a quarterback. But with the way that Tua has been getting injured, you don't know about him. So even the games that are supposed to be tough, like they're allegedly tough. Like I think we stack up well against everybody we play against this year. So yes, our schedule is set up for us to make a run. We also will know more about it. Don't know yet. They haven't actually released the weeks that we play. They have only released the opponents, but they have not released the order in which the games come. They have not released the orders that the games come in. Hey, shout out to my boy Dwayne Brown for the $10 donation. I appreciate you for the love and the support. They got you 2 more entries into the raffle. So right now you have 12 and you still sit alone for the number 2 spot. So Regina Green, you have 20 entries. Dwayne Brown, you have 12. And then DC for Life, you have 9. So, y'all 3 have the best odds of winning the jersey. So salute to y'all for participating and showing love to the liquor store. Waiting for home away dates. Yeah. And remember, once the home and away dates are announced, that's around when they put tickets on sale. And I believe they ain't gonna announce that till like July. However, I will be purchasing a Dallas Cowboy ticket to raffle off in July when it happens. So, as long as these jersey raffles go well in between now and then, it's pretty much a lock for us to raffle off a Dallas Cowboys ticket, in July. Eli, what's up with you, my boy? I appreciate you for coming over and showing love to the liquor store. Thank you for tapping in. I hope Eagles don't pick Brajon at number 10 just to keep us from getting him. Well, this is the thing. I think that they could use a guy like Brajon Robinson. They definitely could use a guy like Brajon Robinson. They are a team that is predicated around running the ball. They gave the ball to Miles Sanders a lot. They also implemented Jalen Hurts in the run game a lot. So their identity is running the ball. So in order to run the ball, you need a running back. Right now, they got Rashad Penny. When he's healthy, he's good, but he's never healthy, right? So he has a lot of upside, but he has not shown that he can consistently stay healthy to produce for a team. So it makes a lot of sense for the Philadelphia Eagles to get a running back. Historically, that's not really a move that their GM would make. However, right now with them having already solidified everything else on their team, really, what I actually think they might get an offensive lineman. Like I think they might try and see if a running back falls to pick 30 because they got 2 picks. So with the top 10 pick, they might usually get the best available lineman there. So they might try and do it like that. They might try and spend the pick number 10 on a line. We got to think about it because Kelsey only signed a 1-year deal, right? So Kelsey is probably going to retire after this season. He said, "Let them have him. We still gonna win the NFC but I want him gone before they pick. Then our fans won't hope he falls to us. And say, I just want the Dallas Cowboys to get the best player available. I know I've been real picky. Is their quarterback coach still their OC? Yes, their quarterback coach is their OC. Matter of fact, he was actually Dak Prescott's coach at Mississippi State. So like I actually before we decided on Brian Schottenheimer, I actually thought it was a good idea to bring him into Dallas for Dak Prescott. But that didn't happen. They wisely made him the offensive coordinator because I do like him as a coach. But yeah, so like their quarterback coach is now their OC, and yeah, and listen, he is a guy that knows how to use a mobile quarterback. Like that, him and Dak put up numbers together in Mississippi State, so not a bad signing. Yeah, real talk, Sugar Daddy won. Like he would have made a damn good process. He would have made a damn good coach. Said rather fix O line and draft running back, good runner, bad blocker equals turnover on downs. Yeah, unless you're Barry Sanders. Like Barry Sanders didn't need a line, he was an anomaly. Like every other running back needs a line to be successful in the National Football League. The Eagles are so dumb they probably picked the water boy with the 10th pick. Well, they don't have a great history of drafting, so like they don't really concern me like that. Like now they've hit on a couple of guys. But you also got to remember this is the same team that drafted Jalen Reagor over Justin Jefferson and an assortment of other good wide receivers. Well, yeah. But I do appreciate y'all for showing love to the liquor store. I'm going to go ahead and jump on off here, man. I thank y'all for coming over, getting drunk with me off this good old Dallas Cowboy content. I'm gonna hit up Cuz to see if he's trying to go live later on. I'm not gonna promise that just yet, but I'm gonna see your schedule and see what's going on. So I do appreciate y'all, and I always tell y'all to drink and drive responsibly. But if you see an Eagles fan in the middle of the road, you do have my permission to run their ass over. Y'all already know what it is. I appreciate y'all, appreciate the love, and I'm gonna get at y'all later. God bless.